Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you do the little you just did this, but I want you to do the thing you did when it was down to the top two because I took a screenshot of it. You looked
Oh,
so surprised.
I did a little bit more than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, were you really? I mean, I guess you were the underdog at first, but I
Right.
think by the time we got to the top five and based on how you did the night before on Monday, I think there was at least a good, I predicted it. I actually said you were going
Yeah.
to win.
Thank
Did you
you.
have any idea, or did you still kind of feel like you were going to come in basically in fifth place, I guess?
I I don't
You're
know.
still,
Yeah, I'm definitely still a bit in shock. I haven't gone home yet.
oh, okay.
I've been moving and grooving. Um, I look, I wanted to win. I visualized it, right? But there's still doubt, there was still you don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I didn't want to get my hopes up. I'm very much like very protective of myself, so keep the expectations low and you don't get, um but it's a weird thing to navigate when you are trying to manifest something and visualize it. Like, well, how do you keep them low if you're aiming for the highest thing? So yeah, I definitely was genuinely surprised because I had no idea how it was
Well, I
going to play
guess
out.
I guess statistically as well. I mean, they made a big point about the fact. I mean, if you're
Right,
getting the statistics, I guess technically going into the final, since you were in that middle part, at least
right,
four people a week before got more votes than you. At
correct,
least four.
exactly. And I figured, well, if they voted for them, then they only voted for me because they were already voted through. That's where you know what I mean? So I definitely, that was definitely a factor in my mind. It was very nerve-wracking. And yeah, I was looking over at my mom is who I was looking at. I was looking at my mom and my manager was over there. And yeah,
Yeah, it was that. I took a screenshot of that.
yeah, because man,
So
uh, I thought Renzo would have placed a bit higher. I thought
I did
Lucia
too.
was going to place higher. Um, everyone is so good. You know what I
I,
mean?
I predicted actually I actually did predict you were going to win, but then I predicted Renzo second and Lucia third. That's what I
Yeah.
predicted. But one of the reasons I predicted it, besides I think you were just kind of peaking at the right time, and I think also based on the fact that, in my opinion, it's kind of a weird format where there weren't like that many live voted shows. There were only literally
Yeah.
2 weeks of that. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe more than American Idol, some other shows. I think people were really just voting on how people did that night, and I
Sure.
think you did a really good week. But I think it was more in that. I want to ask you about this. Obviously, your story on the show. How much do you think that, because I think obviously you're the kind of contestant that people want to root for. They want to see you do good. They want to cheer you on. How much do you think your story about that you were so open about with your addiction and your recovery and all the work you do for rehab centers, how much do you think that played into it with America just like kind of resonating towards you?
I'm sure it played in, man. People are suffering. They want to see someone who's suffered do well, and man, I don't know. I have no idea. But my thing is, I'm listening to myself like, what are you talking about, dude? I think the thing is, uh, I believe very strongly that when you are vulnerable, um, you're open and honest, you are yourself, you're authentic. I believe that the universe responds in kind. I think that we're living in a really weird time, and I think that uh, all of these things like addiction, it's a family disease. Everybody is touched by it in some way. Um, and every time I'm open about it, someone says, "Hey, I'm in recovery." Or like
Mm,
my father was struggled and passed away and I so it's affected everybody and I think yeah, maybe that played a factor, but at the end of the day I really wasn't trying to play a character. I was just trying
no.
to be myself um
No, I didn't mean
and
that you were like exploiting your story or anything
no,
like
for
that.
sure, no. But I mean, like on a show like this, that people maybe can tend to do that, and Um, I think, yeah, I think, people, I think underdogs are more common than anything else. That's maybe something that people relate to. And yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Was it
Nah.
actually a concern? There are certainly people go on shows like this who maybe have some kind of I'm doing this sob story or
Yeah. You
whatever.
like
That
those. I like that.
sob. Yeah, but that's what they called in the biz. But they choose not to, it could be an addiction story, it could just be like some kind of hard luck to
Sure.
story, like, a family story, whatever. But they
Yeah.
choose not to talk about it, maybe because they're worried about that it'll seem like a character or like they're being like a character or like they're being exploitative or whatever. Was there
Right.
any part of you that thought like maybe I won't talk about all this stuff on the air because of that?
So no, because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my story, and it's been such a major part of my life. And when I did get clean, um, like my like purpose changed. You know, and the stuff that I do with the treatment centers, it's really like I play at the treatment center I went to. You know what I
Uh,
mean? So it's real. That's what it is. It's not, you know, uh, it's grandiose or anything. And um, I think I've had so many experiences where um, when I leaned into the scary, when I leaned into the vulnerability of saying like, "Hey, I don't really know what I'm doing. You seem like you know." Like instead of pretending to know, instead of like, "Oh, they're gonna figure it out." Like I gotta, yeah, I know what's up. Like that's not me. I can't. It's not comfortable for me to do that. It's not sustainable for me to do that. I lean into the vulnerability, and every time I have it, amazing things happen. And this is just one more reinforcing experience. So I want to encourage everybody uh, to lean into their vulnerability because most of the time you're just saying what the next person wants to say or whatever they're dealing with. You know what I mean? And but by you saying it, you give them the courage to say it too, and then someone next to them is dealing with something more similar to them. It's just a chain of effect. A chain of effect, is that a thing?
yeah.
Um, that I think it helps everybody. It dies in the light is what it is, so we talk about it.
I've read that you got clean or at least got the ball rolling on that through Music Cares, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. I when I finally, I mean, I had made like a lot of 5 a.m. phone calls to treatment centers. Hey, so how much you guys cost? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Um, but when I finally decided I was done, um, a friend of mine, Carl Schmidt, he's a violin player. He plays with Recovery Unplugged as well. That's the treatment center I went to.
Okay.
Um, he helped me apply for a grant through Music Cares, and it was a bit of a long process. It was about a 2 week process,
That's not
which I
long compared to like, the
you're
medical
right.
industry.
No, you're right. You're right. But it was probably the most dangerous 2 weeks because I was in full on uh senioritis. You know what I mean? Very one track mind. Okay, whatever I got to do to make it through whatever. So it was a 2 weeks can kill someone. You know what I mean? But they saved me, man. They came through and uh I actually I want to develop a better relationship with them, especially now, and they do a lot of stuff and I want to be a part of it. And then uh I went to Recovery Unplugged, and that was an amazing program, and now I get to do things with them. And um yeah, it's yeah.
I'm running
Yes.
out of time, but you said when you were done, what
Yeah.
was it? What was the epiphany it made you go like, okay, I know.
My, yeah, my, what, my God, I'm forgetting. It's the most cliche phrase. Um, uh, anyway, I can't think of it. Yeah, I had just went out to play South by Southwest. It was my first time doing that. It felt like, oh, cool, like things are happening. Like I'm gonna go and play South by Southwest, the artist badge and whatever. And I felt really good about myself, but I was using heavily. And uh on the way home, like I didn't sleep for days, which was normal for me at the time. And on the way home, I was just like coming down and um feeling really, really awful. And I was crying on the plane watching Elf, just to give you an image. And it's my favorite movie. It's still my go-to for a plane ride. Um, and I got home and I had no money. My car had been broken down before I left. So I essentially like was stranded at the airport. And I realized like I don't want to come home to do the exact same thing. I am so tired. And I didn't know how I was going to get out of that. You know, um, I felt very much trapped. And I called my mom. I told her, hey, my mom's always been there. She's the one I call. And I was like, look, she knew I was struggling, and I was like, I think I'm done. I need to figure this out, and that began the process of, you know, work, reaching out to Music Cares and starting the application process. And in a couple weeks, I was in treatment, and that was, a little over 6 years ago.
Wow. Awesome story. People should reach out to Music Cares. You're obviously, Baby, I Love Your Way. I wore the shirt for you in
I
case you didn't
saw
see it.
that. Yeah, I
Wasn't
saw
wasn't a
that.
coincidence. Wasn't a coincidence. I do need to let you go, but congratulations on everything. I also know you have an original song, Savior. That's all about all this, right?
Yeah,
So,
and Savior was a song that I wrote the night that I sent off the initial application. I wrote half of it that
oh,
night. Like I sent it off. It was like 5 in the morning. I sent it off, and that the first half of that song just fell out of me.
wow.
I just wrote it down. It was just it was talking to me. And then I went to treatment. I was trying to finish it. It wasn't coming. And the day that I got out of treatment, my mom was picking me up. The day my mom was coming to pick me up to get out of treatment, I was in the treatment center and I finished the second verse. I finished the song. And uh that's Savior. That's what it is.
And then,
It's a very important song to me.
yeah, obviously, and then you released it during your winning season of The Voice.
My God. Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Sometimes the underdogs win. So I'm very
Right.
happy for you. And I know America's happy for you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you. Yeah, we're writing. I had some songs that I was already working on. We're gonna finish them off, and I'm working with a couple of different writers, and we're getting a camp together, and you know, I'm a performer. I play. I grew up playing. So we're gonna hit the road as soon as possible and just start playing everywhere. That's my
Awesome.
goal. So
Well, it seems like you got a good handle on things. I think a lot of people watching this will, even if they just an actionable note of something to do if they're going through something. So again,
yeah,
congratulations. I have to unfortunately wrap because you're a busy guy, but I'm sure we'll talk again some other time.
nice to meet you. It was a
Nice to meet
pleasure.
you too. Thanks, everybody.